Indie 101. Dan Medakovic, Chris Claus, and Rob Lamothe, my special guest, talking about Design Hope, Volume 4, Love is Everything. 1:35 and change. In the studio with me right now is the past chairperson of Design Hope, Mr. Dan Medakovic. How are you, sir?
I'm great, thanks. Well, I founded the whole songwriter project, right? Design Hope's been around for, this is our 9th year now. And I came in as chair about 5 years ago. So it was 4 years ago we started inviting songwriters to write new songs to a specific theme, working in partnership with different studios in town like Catherine North and Grant Avenue and my studio. We'd get the artists in and have a mad rush of recording and frantic mixing and mastering. And now we're about to celebrate the release of our 4th CD.
Chris Claus just joining us as well. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, good. How are you, Lou?
Good. You gents will have to share that mic.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So basically, people have a couple weeks, and we all know they're working on it sort of the night before. They have to get in the studio, finishing their songs, and as I said, usually it's to a specific theme, and this year's theme was Christmas again.
It's a grand tour de force. An eclectic mix.
You stole my word.
Oh, sorry.
Damn you.
I'm sorry. Well, let's let Amy tell us what
I was going to say an eclectic collection of Hamilton talent.
This year's Design Hope project is called Love is Everything, and the title came from a song by Jude Johnson, which seemed to encompass the whole concept of artists coming together to raise money so that people could be fed and have a place to stay.
We've got so many talented songwriters and so many talented musicians in Hamilton that you give them a theme, and it's always just a starting point. It's like, here's the starting point, and you go with it. And as usual, it worked out beautifully.
And all the songs on that album are just fantastic. You'd expect a Christmas album, and then it's just Christmas music, but not so much like on this album. It's just everybody puts, they put their heart and soul into everything.
And I think the title Love is Everything is really appropriate, because every single song talks about some aspect of love. It's a non-concept album.
A non-concept album.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We had the great luxury of having Grant Avenue Studios for 2 days in a row over the Thanksgiving weekend. And they donated their time, and Amy King, who engineered the record, donated her time too.
Sister, mother, baby, child, blessed and divine.
Grant Avenue is totally amazing. Amy King is amazing.
She was just incredible.
Phenomenal. Gosh, she's smart, man. Just yeah, she's just so quick at what she does.
So we just had this supportive atmosphere of players and producers and engineers.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah.
It works, yeah. Yeah, Rob says yes, so I say yes.
Okay.
Amy and Chris and Rob had it so well organized. You know, everyone had, I think, an hour or an hour and a half time frame where this is when you come, and everything just kind of went like that. We ran through it once as kind of a bit of a rehearsal with the drummer, and Amy's like, oh, I wish I would have recorded that, because I think that would have been it. And I was like, really?
Every artist, they came in and we did it basically like one take live off the floor. That was it. Well, that's all we had time for anyway.
Yeah, it was a glorious weekend.
It was fantastic.
It was a fun way to spend Thanksgiving.
We had falafels for Thanksgiving dinner
which
on
was
the Monday,
wonderful.
which
That
was
great.
the only little break we took, so it was great.
It was yummy.
We had our own little family for Thanksgiving this year.
We did.
I am Jordy LaForge. We seem to have a problem with the neocortex.
There's so much talent in this area, and to capture in a short amount of time is a beautiful idea, and it actually really worked this year. I'm really pleased to say that.
And maybe that's just because Hamilton's magical musically, that you could really, have a little bit of time and get amazing product out of it, where perhaps other cities you wouldn't have this particular formula working.
Well, you have really easy access to talent, and meaning that people are very accessible and willing to help out as soon as you ask them.
Well, Love is Everything is, I believe, it's really true. It's the truth, what is out there. Love is everything. It was an idea that came to me about Christmas, about helping the homeless, about helping each other. So it's a very simple phrase, but it encompasses a universal feeling, really.
You are on my mind tonight, 'cause every time the trees turn white, I remember.
The song I contributed is called To My Winter Child, and it's definitely inspired by the sadder side of Christmas. Not everybody has has a Christmas tree and a family that's all together. So the song is reflective of that.
I wrote the song Hearts of Snow, basically thinking about when I was a kid and I used to build a snowman, and you know, you feel bad leaving them kind of in the backyard all by themselves, and you don't want to go to bed. You feel like they're going to be lonely out there. It's kind of a romantic snowman love story.
When I was like young, growing up in Winona, we used to live right down by Lake Ontario, and there was this embankment, 20-30 foot embankment that went down into onto the beach, and we used to take our toboggans and sleds and just you know, just have a fun time every night after supper. Actually, it turned out really good. I was like, yahoo!
My song is called Christmas Ain't Coming, and people always complain when Christmas starts early. You know how Christmas starts, like, it started now. As soon as Halloween's done, Christmas starts, and I love it. I love that Christmas is, like, here, and it's, like, always big, and it kind of was just about that. The song's called Christmas Ain't Coming, but it's already here is kind of more the premise of it.
I'm at Grant Avenue.
I love that sort of old-time Christmas, you know, like I remember when I was a kid. There was always smiles, and it was about family, and it was about coming home, and people are there to comfort you and to celebrate the same important day with you.
I work here to be behind the glass. I'm not a good performer. I don't like to wear my heart on my sleeve, so it was really a huge step for me to put a piece on the CD, and I'm really glad that Christopher encouraged me to do that.
We know that Out of the Cold is really desperate for money every year, and they need that money to feed homeless people. And because we know that the CD accounts for about $10,000 a year in the funding, the making our release date, getting it all together, even pulling off the CD at all, has this. You have this sense of, extreme sense of accountability around, like, you know, hey, if we don't pull this off, that's about 3,000 meals that aren't going to get funded. I have a homeless brother in Mississauga, but being able to get involved in the local community here and feel like I'm doing something to help out with that issue through an organization that's non-proselytizing, that is non-judgmental, and that's the key thing. Is the homeless people come in, they're treated, they're called guests, and they really are treated like guests. They sit down, they have their food brought to them, and it's probably the only time of the day that they're treated with any dignity.
The arts community is heavily looked upon to help raise funds. And we're not at the top of the food chain as far as funds overall, but I think we might understand some of the struggles that people would go through on the streets. Some of us might not even be that far removed from it.
Anytime community can get together and help people who are less fortunate, it can't be anything but good.
I'm inspired in my life in general to try and contribute something to my community. I think that's something that over the years has just become more and more important to me.
It's a great thing. I think it's a great thing. There's a lot of hurting people out there, and you know, whatever anybody can do to help, you know, why not?
Design Hope and organizations like this, they're there in the trenches, and we really have to support them.
The whole project of Design Hope is about dignity and giving dignity to those who don't have a home, who don't have enough money to have dinner that night. And I think some people say it's a Band-Aid approach of doing anything like Out of the Cold, but it's needed.
More and more people are falling through the cracks, and we've got to help seal those cracks.
Well, Jude's song is
amazing. That's kind of
Which is a song called Love Is Everything.
Let's start with that.
Okay, we'll play that right after this. You're listening to Indie 101.
Love